When it comes to the rich railroading history of the American Northeast, few names carry as much legacy as the Lehigh Valley Railroad. Spanning parts of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York, the Lehigh Valley was born in the heart of the anthracite coal boom, with roots dating back to 1855. It grew into a vital transportation network, fueling the rise of heavy industry in the region. At its peak, it was a lifeline for coal, freight, and passengers alike. But today, much of that vast system has vanished. Over half of its original routes have been abandoned or dismantled, leaving behind only a few active lines. Most now operated by Norfolk Southern and a handful of short-line railroads, quietly carrying the legacy forward. Yet there's still much to admire about the modern-day Lehigh Line, now operated by Norfolk Southern through the heart of New Jersey. Today, we celebrate the enduring legacy of the Lehigh Valley Railroad by exploring this vital freight corridor, still busy, still alive with motion. While the trains and landscape have changed, the spirit of the line endures. Join us as we take a closer look at this historic route, winding through the quiet countryside of rural New Jersey. Thundering across the bridge over the south branch of the Raritan River is NS-18N, a manifest train originating from Mormon Yard in Bellevue, Ohio, and bound for the Doremus Auto Terminal in Newark, New Jersey. On the Lehigh Line, 18N carries a solid string of loaded auto racks, having already set off its manifest freight in the yards at Conway, Altoona, and Allentown, Pennsylvania. This part of the line offers amazing scenery. It's also the site of the former Stanton station of the Lehigh Valley, closed in the 1930s. We'll soon see Unit Empty Trash Train 62V rounding the S-curve. Also rounding the S-curve on this cool summer morning was Priority Intermodal Train 24X, with an obvious nod to this very railroad trailing second in the consist. With a big part of NS's current route in this region, it's no wonder why 8104 was painted in honor of its heritage in 2012. It was especially cool to see this locomotive on this namesake line. Next to arrive here in Stanton was a massive NS10K. It works many yards along the way, with the most recent being Allentown at the end of the Lehigh line. K is a daily manifest train originating in Conway Yard in Pennsylvania, a massive classification yard that is very important to this region, as this train demonstrates. 10K terminates in Croxton Yard in Jersey City, New Jersey. It also has a lot of traffic for Conrail shared assets, and as such, Oak Island Yard receives many of these cars you'll see. Like many manifest trains on the NS system, it shows up when it shows up. It can be extremely random when it is through this area. 10K was holding at CP53 to allow 3 westbounds to clear, all of which we see at our next location. It was neat to see our second heritage unit of the day, this time a nod to the Virginian Railway, a major railroad in the Commonwealth of Virginia in the early 20th century, eventually merging with Norfolk and Western in the early 1960s. Like the Lehigh Railroad, the Virginian leaves behind its own legacy, and now operated by Norfolk Southern as well. 11N hauls empty auto racks from Doremus Auto Terminal to Detroit, dropping off some to 4 yards along the way. The first being Allentown Yard in Allentown, Pennsylvania, which is a little under 40 miles west of here. New Jersey isn't usually known for its rural beauty, but this region certainly fits the bill. The Lehigh line winds through some truly scenic stretches, and the curve near Perryville offers a picturesque backdrop as eastbound Priority Intermodal Train 22X rolls through on its journey from Chicago to Croxton. NS-268 is an international intermodal train, making its way east from the Windy City to the Global Container Terminal in Bayonne, New Jersey, one of the busiest and most advanced marine terminals on the East Coast. This train carries containerized freight destined for ports around the world. If you look closely, you'll spot the names of international shipping giants like Hapag-Lloyd, CAI International, and United Arab Shipping Company. A clear sign that this cargo is headed for global markets. One of the most notable spots in this region is Three Bridges, New Jersey, named for the trio of bridges that once spanned the south branch of the Raritan River. Two rail lines passed through here: the former Lehigh Valley Railroad, which we've been following, and the old Central Railroad of New Jersey right-of-way, now operated by the Black River and Western Railroad. Norfolk Southern interchanges with the BR and W at this location, but the real centerpiece of the town is the vibrant, well-preserved former Lehigh Valley Railroad station, a standout landmark that still commands attention today. NS-269 is the counterpart to the train we last saw, only this time it has considerably more containers, originating in the port of Newark outbound to the Windy City endpoints west. Turn train from Croxton to Allentown K76 returns east with 33 cars for Croxton, and another eastbound local from Allentown shows up as well, this time H76. As it turned out, the power from this morning's 24X was reassigned to Priority Intermodal 23G, giving us a second look at NS 8104 and another chance at a nod to this historic railroad. Trailing third in the consist, we spotted something unexpected, AC 44C6M 4396, which had been vandalized to resemble the old thoroughbred paint scheme. The horsehead had been removed, replaced by the classic horizontal stripes, a livery Norfolk Southern carried for decades before the horsehead became the standard. Finally, our last train is H76 returning west with 23 cars back to Allentown. Notable are the Golden West service boxcars and the middle, which trace their routes to the Southern Pacific. Thus ends a fantastic day on the former Lehigh Valley Railroad mainline. Be sure to check out our other videos for points west in Phillipsburg into Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, as well as points east into urban New Jersey and the Conrail shared assets. This is one of many beautiful spots along the line, and we hope to visit again soon. Until next time, happy rail fanning, and we'll see you on the next one.